Hey Grassroots, just wanted to fill you in case you missed Sunday night or you just caught bits and pieces. So I got a couple announcements for you. Number one is this Sunday we're not having a Sunday night gathering, but we're doing a combined worship gathering with Heart of the Springs right here at 10:30. Humble doers. That's the word that God gave us this year, starting off in January. In Grassroots, I just want to say that that's exactly what you have been. You have been doers. So here's just kind of a recap of where we started Sunday night, of just the things that you have done just this far this year.
Then a voice like thunder clapped, as a dead man I collapsed. I am the first, I am the
Okay, before we get into our recap, I just want to say for everyone that has been serving this year and helping with events and Sunday night gatherings and everything else that we've had going on, thank you so much. I also wanted to thank everybody. I was super just geeked out Sunday night when I saw all the sign-ups for just our teaching team for the kiddos. So everyone that has been interested in doing that and signed up Sunday, thank you. First thing we talked about Sunday was just a recap of who we are. We are Grassroots, and from the very beginning we've said that we want to be a church that is a part of this community that we live in, not just a church that happens to meet in the community. We want to dive in. We want to see our city through the lens of, where's the holes and where can we as Grassroots, as a family, where can we fill those holes? Where can we meet needs? Where can we build bridges and relationships so that we can further have gospel penetration in this city and be the hands and feet. So that's who we are as Grassroots. What we're about, all those things. I mean, every church has the same, should have the same mission. We are about Jesus, and Jesus gave us a really simple mission plan. We don't have to be creative about it and make something up. Jesus gave it to us. He told us to go, to make disciples, to baptize those disciples, and to teach those disciples to obey. So one of the things that you've heard me say all year long is we don't want to gather, we've adopted the language of being a gathered and scattered family, but we don't want to gather Sunday night and that be our, everyone at the dinner table together, only to scatter throughout the community just to talk about what we've already talked about on Sunday. We want to go be about it. We want to do the part about teaching the disciples to obey, not just teaching the disciples once again. We want to do the obeying part in the city. And so that's who we are. That's what we're about. We are a gathered and scattered community, and again, that needs to be our common vernacular and practice, that we gather together as a family on Sunday nights. That's all the family together at the dinner table, and then throughout the week we scatter. And so one of the things that I ask Sunday night is, as we've experimented with communities and huddles this year, we've tried to do everything all at the same time. And so I asked the family Sunday night, I said, by show of hands, who's been frustrated with missional communities and huddles? And all of our hands went up, me included. I've been so frustrated with them, but at the same time I wanted to acknowledge that, validate that frustration, say that I've had the same frustrations, but at the same time share the fruit and the testimony that I've heard from missional communities, whether it's Brian and Ashley or through huddles. I think of Stephanie and Becky and all these. I've seen stories of just refreshment. I think of Shauna's group with Christina and Yvette and Kara, and just the refreshing that has brought, the unity that has brought with just within family. I've seen salvations and transformation, and again, I can't tell you all the stories of just refreshing that it's been, but it has been a challenge. So for the fall, we want to continue to just kind of pound the drum that we are a gathered and scattered family, that the scattering is going to be the vehicle for gospel delivery, transportation in this city and for our family. But we want to, this fall, go into the fall with some intentionality and adopt some rhythms as a family that's going to help us carry that out and be more effective. I feel like we're trying to experiment and everything and just really, quite honestly, burnt ourselves out and did a lot of things but didn't do most of them very well. So we're going to thin down this fall, just have 2 missional communities that gather every other week, and then and each community will be a little bit different in their rhythms, but we want to allow the freedom to do the both and to gather, but the regularity of that be twice a month rather than every week, so that we can also have huddles meeting, and we still adopt the Titus model for discipleship, older men teaching men and women teaching women. And so we're going to huddle on off weeks and do more of systematic Bible study. So that's kind of our goal for this fall. That's what you missed if you weren't here, and if you just heard bits and pieces. That's kind of a recap on everything that we talked about. And finally, we said, okay, here's who we are, this is what we're about, this is what we're called to. This is our expression as a family, gathered and scattered. And what's missing? And what's missing is the same thing that's always missing in the church. We need drivers. We are in Ephesians. It talks about Jesus has given some to be this, that, and the other. You know, apostles and prophets and evangelists and shepherds and teachers, and all that for the equipping, building of the body, so that we become mature and attain to the full measure of Jesus. And so, for a family, we need drivers. We need shepherds, and we need apostles, and we need hospitality specialists, and we need all these things. Every one of you watching this video, God has called to grassroots and equipped you in a specific way to help this body of believers become mature, attain to the full measure of Christ, to build the body. And so we need you. We need in huddles we need teachers, and we need in missional communities we need teachers and shepherds, and on Sunday nights we need people that are just shepherds. One of the areas that I fall short the most, if you're needing something from me, it's probably encouragement, because that's not my gift. Not an excuse for me not to encourage, but at the same time, that's the area that I'm not good. When I think of an encourager, I think of Lamont. Lamont is an encourager. We all have different gifts, and we need to bring them together so as a family we can become mature. So we have our direction, we have our mode of transportation, we have the adoption, the rhythms that we want to adopt. And so I'm asking you guys, you guys are already serving, I'm asking you guys to just continue to seek God and pour out in areas that God's equipped you in, so that we can better fulfill the mission that God's given us. So if you missed a Sunday, we did honestly miss you. We love you. We're praying for you. Can't wait to see you. Remember, this Sunday we don't have a Sunday evening gathering, but we're meeting Sunday morning at 10:30 with Heart of the Springs to worship together. So if you have any questions or thoughts or ideas, shoot me a text or an email. Can't wait to see you guys this week. God bless you. Have a fantastic rest of your week, and we'll see you in a couple days. God bless.